This is for you. You got a lot of nerve trying to tell Janie, my mother, anything. See, let me lay the facts out for nosy ass folks like you. Uh-huh. See, it was your granddaughter Daisha, that spent all your money in your bank account. See, when you bring your foolishness to my door, this is why I'm on here dragging the hell out of you. It was your granddaughter Deja that spent all your money. See, I ain't spent all my mama's money. See, you come in my door with foolishness and I'm going to embarrass you right here, right now, in front of everybody. Wasn't it your granddaughter Daisha? See, you know so much about other people's business but can't run your own. Let me help you out. If you're not sure about something, call an attorney. No, but not you, Louise. See, not you. Let me roll the facts of your life out. Isn't it true that you had Harvey at the bank? You was giving Harvey at the bank your money to make deposits, and once he found out how much in your bank was in your account, he made withdrawals. He took a large sum. See, first of all, you ain't got no business giving nobody. I don't care if he did go to the church. You ain't got no business giving nobody that type of access. So the man stole your money, and then your common sense ain't tell you to go to the bank and tell the people what happened. You let the man run away with your money, and then the man croaked and you ain't get it straightened out. See, that was number one. That's your first mistake. Then your second mistake was giving your granddaughter Deja. Your granddaughter Deja. See, when you say something about Catherine, make sure you say that Catherine don't steal nobody's damn money. Right. See, we going, you ain't got no business telling my mama nothing. Now I'm going to tell the facts of your corny ass life right here so everybody can hear it. Because, see, when you say something about me, you best to lay them facts out. I ain't stole nobody's damn money, but I'm getting ready to lay your facts out. See, your granddaughter, Deja, your great granddaughter, whatever she is, your granddaughter. Uh-huh. Uh, Unfortunately, you lost your son, so then you raised your granddaughter. You did an honorable thing, except for the fact, Louise, that you did not teach her how to cook and clean. You was driving all the way up there to the college. See, you ain't teach her life skills. See, you ain't had to go all the way to the college to wash her clothes. She was too old for that. See, ain't no 20-something-year-old. She had a grandmama coming to the college. See, you went over and beyond. That's why that girl treated you like that. They got to learn life skills. Ain't nothing wrong. And listen, when they start walking and talking, you could put them on a little step stool and you could just stand them right up there. You ain't got to hand them nothing in the kitchen. Let them watch you. See, that's what I did with my grandparents. They let me just watch them. They let me stand in the kitchen and watch them. Then when they thought that I was old enough, then they started letting me handling stuff in the kitchen. See, pay attention, Louise. You're always running your mouth and you're talking about what other people should do. But what the hell you should have done with Daisha was not drove up to the college where Daisha was going and washed her clothes up. Grown 20-something-year-old woman got her grandmother driving from Philadelphia to go wash her clothes up. But you got the nerve to tell my mother what she should do with me. Didn't Daisha spend all of your money in your bank account? You ain't had it set up for when you died. Daisha spent it up while it's still blood running warm in your vein. Blood running warm in your vein. Your granddaughter spent all of your. Didn't she spend your bank account down to zero? Right. You the but you telling my mother what she should do for me. I ain't spent my mama's money up, ma'am. See, you trying to run over here and say what should happen. You couldn't handle your own situation up there in West Oak Lane where you live at. Didn't that girl almost run you out your house? Didn't Daisha take the car that you got her? You know, you thought that she should have everything. You think we poor. Well, here's the whole thing about we being poor down here, eating beans down here. It's okay that we eat beans down here because you up there and your granddaughter took all, I ain't say some of your money. Baby, she depleted your bank account like you do a vacuum cleaner that picks up dirt. That girl got so far down low with your bank account that they did what? They called you and told you that your bank account, it was going what? Going down to $0 and 0 cents. But she got the nerve to stand up and tell somebody else what they should do. Didn't Daisha, you got Daisha her car and all that stuff like that. And didn't Daisha let that man, that no good raggedy man that she got, didn't he destroy Daisha's car? And Ain't she using your car now to get back and forth to work? See, you still ain't learned yet, but you telling somebody else what they should do. Before you worry about what my mama should do, you should worry about what goes on over there in West Oak Lane where you live at. Because ain't nobody over here taking advantage of my mama. See, that's not what's going on. I don't know what she tells people. The only person that was taking advantage of her is not here anymore, and that was Lisa. Lisa was the one that wasn't pulling her weight. If I want to lay out the facts, because you seem to have the facts twisted. The person that wasn't pulling their weight was Lisa. It wasn't Catherine. Oh, did my mama not tell you that story? Or you asked her the very next time you're with her? Lisa was the one that wasn't pulling her weight. Oh, okay. See, because you run down here and Catherine, don't you say Catherine nothing. You know half of the story. You don't know the truth. My mama put me out for no reason because she thought Lisa, see, Lisa was going to be here. See, Lisa not here right now. I'm not laughing at the fact that Lisa not here. I'm just telling you the facts of the story. I ain't got no laughs, jokes. But see, you keep running your mouth on me, ma'am, and I got baby, I got a trunk full of stories on you. You gonna come down here and say something about me, ma'am? Your whole story with your granddaughter is jacked up. Girl stole your money, messed up her car. Now, went halfway to let you see that the first baby she had. Now she done went and had a second baby. You gonna come down? Oh man, my sons is grown. Did you not understand? My sons is grown. I ain't got no babies around here, and I ain't married. I tried to help my mama to the best of my ability. She give me a hard way to go, man. You know half the story. You don't know all the story. I don't have to be the favorite child to help my mama. All of that's not important. That's water under the bridge. Don't nobody care about no favorite child, chosen child. Don't nobody care about that right now. Lisa, who is the chosen child, when she was here, she wouldn't bring my mama a drink of water. You want me to tell the story? Because I can tell it because nobody else can. When Lisa was here, Lisa would come right up here in her bedroom and close the door. My mama would knock, 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 knock. Lisa would not answer. So we're going to tell some stories. We better tell it right. Lisa ain't do nothing for my mama. And all y'all do is run Catherine's name in the ground. And I'm kind of sick and tired of y'all acting like I do something to hurt that lady. I ain't did nothing to hurt that lady. Every time she wants something from the store, who gets on the bus and go for? So what that I don't drive? No, I don't drive. But I know how to get on the bus and go to the store. But her other daughter, the one that y'all be putting up on the pedestal, you make it seem like I'm in the ground. I'm not good as Lisa. Ain't did nothing for mama. You wants to know? She ain't bring mama a drink of water. When mama was sick, she ain't go see mama. You gonna run and say something, go run and tell that. Lisa ain't do nothing for my mother. People always saying the worst things about Catherine. You want me to tell the story? I'll tell it. I'll tell yours better. Your story ain't so great. Your own granddaughter tried to throw you out your house. But you're going to come down here and say what? Don't come down here and say nothing about Catherine Sherelle Powell because you don't know anything about me. For real. You know the twisted and distorted stories that my mother tell you. And I don't really care what she say to y'all or none of those other folks at church that she goes with. Y'all don't live in this house and you don't know my mother. And I said it like that for a reason. Before you come in somebody else's house and you try to check them and get them straight, go back up there in West Oak Lane. You should have got Deja straight when she was trying to put you out your house. Not one time, two times. The first time you put out, you let her come back and she had been right. See, but now you're trying to give somebody else some advice. Maybe you ain't in no position to give nobody no advice. What you talking about? They should still running all over you like train tracks because her car got messed up. You should let her catch the bus. See, you think they should too good to catch the bus. Well, she messed the car up that you got her. So why do you think that you should let her hold your car so she can tear your car up next? She ain't got no common sense. See, because you always trying to make it seem like I ain't got nothing. I bet you this. If I would have bought her a car and she would have let that man she would messed it up, I bet you she wouldn't be driving around my car. I catch the bus. I'm not ashamed to say that I do. You got a car and your granddaughter act like it's hers after she done let the man tow hers up. Now she trying to take over yours. Try to put you out your house, but you going to come down here and say something. Ma'am, take your ass back up West Oak Lane where you live at and handle your business. You can't run nothing down here. I ain't gave my mama no bad advice or told her anything that was wrong. People always think somebody over here mistreating. Ain't nobody mistreating Janie. For real. She ain't being mistreated. And the person that was mistreating her ain't here. And it was Lisa who was just not paying my mother any mind. Yeah, let's get the story straight. It was Lisa that wasn't bringing my mother a drink of water. It was Lisa that was staying in the room and just, right. See, the story was that she had been sick for a period of time. She was here and she wasn't answering the door. She wasn't going up and down the steps. See, when we going to talk, I was not here. And when I was here, I didn't ignore my mother. Although I was not well myself. When folks say stuff, I just get tired of people running my name in the ground and you all run to the church that I grew up in and you talk about me like a dog. And what you don't know is what you're not saying is not true. I do the very best for my mother that I can, even when I don't feel good. I get tired of people saying stuff about me that's not true. Yesterday, I didn't feel good. My hip was hurting. That's true. They did an x-ray and found out I have arthritis in that same hip. But you all are always trying to make it seem like I don't have to fake anything or tell you what's wrong with me either. When I say I don't feel good, I don't. I get tired of people always saying the worst stuff about me, and I am always the one that gives people 100%. Even when I don't feel good, like yesterday. Put on my best clothes and I try to do the very best that I can. I get tired of people just running me in the ground like I don't wake up to do harm to anybody. People always say the worst things about me. No, that's not true of me. You come down here, you know half the story. You don't know all the story. Only came on here because you deserve for your story to be all over. You was one of the people telling my mom to put me out. Did put Deja out? Deja stole your money. See, see, now you're gonna make me tell your business. See, you're gonna make me tell your business because what you saying about me ain't right. So I'm gonna tell your business. See, let's get this story straight. If you wanted Deja to have your money after you pass away, you have to go through a lawyer. See, you got to go through a lawyer. You should go online. See, sometimes when I don't know things, I just type it in and I Google it. See, you wanted her to have your money after you leave, but you gave it to her while you was living. So since you gave it to her while she was living, she spent it. See, she ain't just, see, if you're the one that jacked that up, Deja didn't really jack that up for real. She just spent it up because she thought, right, you the one that jacked that up. Always telling people stuff. No, listen, I ain't said I know everything. I type some things in Google and then I go ask some people some questions and I try to figure it out to the best of my ability. I don't, And that's why sometimes I step back from helping people because then they'll say, don't know too much. That's okay. I don't too much help people because they'll know, say, you know everything. I step back from helping folks. Be trying to help people and they say the darnest things about me, who sometimes don't feel well myself. I'll show up. So, y'all do the darnest things. I don't need to be around folks like that. Sometimes I help people to my own detriment. Yeah. That's not always a good thing that somebody say about you that you no I listen. I'm sorry that I let my anger get the best of me and I said some things about my phone. I am really sorry about that. I cannot go back and change that. However, I ain't dragged him in my book. That's true. I did not drag him in my book. I said unfinished business. See, I had some self-control. See, I had some self-control because I didn't have to have self-control with Granada because he's dead. That's what I said. Granada 6 feet under, so I can say what I want to say about my son's father because he ain't come back to tell nobody nothing. My former pastor's still alive, so I wouldn't, it's not a issue of whether I said it. It's true. I don't really want to fight my former pastor. And I wouldn't fight with Granada if Granada was alive, but there are plenty of people that can testify to my story that are still living. But Louise, you was one of the main people telling my mama that I wasn't doing her right. I wasn't doing her right, ma'am. I would get on buses and uh, go for and get her groceries with the shopping cart. What you talking about? A couple weeks ago. What you mean? You know half of the story. You don't know all the story. When my sister was here, my sister's daughter got a car. Did you see Latoya come down here and get do grocery shopping for my mama? Or did you see me get on the bus with the shopping cart? See, when you're running around and you tell people stuff, make sure you tell them who was doing. Lisa would get in the car with her daughter and they wouldn't bring my mama even back a milkshake from the store. What you talking about? I don't have to be favorite or chosen around here. I'm too old for that. Or haven't you found out? Nobody has to pick me, choose me. I'm not a child anymore. And the only reason why I'm not going to go up to the hospital with my mom when they, because I'm not one more time, I'm not a little girl. I don't need nobody to hold my hand. I know how to get on a bus. I know how to travel. I know how to do all those things. So when people keep putting me in that classification, I just step away from it. I ain't got to holler, scream. I ain't got to do none of that. But you can't come down here and tell my mama how she should run her business when your granddaughter spent your bank account down to $0 and 0 cents because you didn't have your paperwork right. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. See, when you want somebody to have something after you leave, it's called an inheritance. And see, if you don't believe me, call them lawyers that handle estates, trusts, will. See, call them. See, I know a couple of the. I ain't gonna call their names to you right downtown and stuff. You know, I ain't gonna call their name. I ain't gonna give you what I had went and got myself. I don't do that with folks. See, I let folks go get their own stuff because soon as I start calling names and addresses, they'll say, Catherine, none of your business. How I know. It is an inheritance, and in trust is different ways to do that. No, you just put her name on your bank account. Ma'am, go learn some stuff before you come tell my mama how she should do stuff. Worry about is our where. Where is Deja? Don't worry about where Catherine is, baby. Don't worry about where Catherine is. Worry about where your stealing ass granddaughter was. I ain't stole my mama's money. When she sent me with her money, don't I bring her back a receipt? I don't disappear. You got me and my sister mixed up. See, I'm about 2 or 3 shades darker than Lisa. I got pictures to prove it. We're not the same complexion. You must have us mixed up because our last name is the same. You got us mixed up. See, Lisa is the daughter that didn't talk to my mama, didn't speak to my mama, didn't bring my mama a drink of water. That was Lisa, Elisa, Elisa. That was her. Catherine, see, that would be me. That would be me. I'm the daughter that's always doing stuff for her mama, and her mama don't pay her no mind. See, you got to get the story right if you're going to run back to the church and you're going to tell all the business. You got to get the story right when you go run my name in the ground. You got to go get the story right because, see, I could post my own story on my page if I want to and blast my sister if I wanted to. Because that's my business. I don't need the approval of anybody else. I can blast my own story, embarrass that girl if I want to, because it's my story. That girl ain't bring her mama a drink of water. Now she ain't bring her mama a drink of water. That's what I said. You're allowed to be mad at mama sometimes, but since mama need a drink of water, you got to bring her something. Lisa ain't did that. She get right in the car and go with Toya places. Yes, she did. But you gonna run into the church and talk about Catherine? Is you all okay? Y'all got your peoples is mixed up. Latoya, you should not say anything about me, cause ain't your godfather being celebrated today? You don't even have to with all the call your godmother who used to buy you clothes, and so Toya, you should not say anything about me, cause wasn't he being celebrated today? And did you call that lady, honey? They used to buy you clothes that other folks ain't have. Your memory's short. Why you running around saying stuff about me? I mean, normally when folks say stuff about me, I would just shuck it, let it roll like water off a duck's back. But not when you going to go to the church where I grew up at. I grew up over there. One of the reasons why I don't feel too comfortable with going over there is because those folks that's been there for 20, 30 years talk about Catherine like a dog. Y'all don't say that stuff about my sister. So it was okay for my sister to stay up here in this room and not check on my mom when I wasn't here? Because you're going to get the story right. You better get it right. That was Lisa. That wasn't me. I wasn't here for right. So don't be saying no jacked up stuff about me. Because I'm going to say real jacked up stuff about you. Sit up there, got a granddaughter that done spent all your money. And now she riding around with your car and you going to come down. You here? Is where your granddaughter at? Oh, okay, see. I be trying to have some self-control. I be just trying to have some self-control. But sometimes people keep saying stuff about me that's not true. Listen, I don't all the time want to defend my character. No, I don't. I don't all the time want to defend my character. The reason why is because my character will always speak for itself. I don't know too many people, if their hip was hurting, they might have would have stayed in the bed. I got up out of the bed a couple days ago when my hip was hurting. I don't care what people say about me, black, ugly, skinny, fat, who cares? At this point, they're just words. Sometimes I ignore people for purposeful reasons. Somebody live all the way up there and come all the way down here and say, what? Ma'am, call your own life into accordance. Because you've done some crooked stuff too. You know, like calling the cops on Deja's boyfriend and telling the cops that he stole your car. Did he steal your car or did your granddaughter willingly give him the keys? You can't come through here and try to make it seem like I'm something I'm not. Because filing a false police report is a crime too. So did you tell the Philadelphia police that your granddaughter's boyfriend stole the car when the truth is she gave him the keys? That's not the same. See, don't be trying to make it seem like ain't nobody in here doing nothing wrong to my mama. Because I will rerun your story and make folks question you, lady. I get sick of people saying stuff about me that's not true, especially in church. And the one that I grew up in. I spent a lot of time in that church. I served God in that church for real. In my autobiography, I talked about how I served God over there. For somebody to be running my name over there. Y'all say stuff about me that's not true. Y'all not here. And I don't have to lie about being sick. I got medical records. Y'all say I'm goofy. I don't have to lie about being sick. I don't have to pull my medical records out to show you none of that. Show you what medicines I take, none of that. I must see a doctor for arthritis for a reason. And if you really want to know what it is, I've had arthritis in my back since I was 13 years old. I ain't got to tell nobody that. That's nobody's business, for real, for real. Ain't nothing wrong, Kathy. No, the doctors think they know otherwise. You're allowed to say that my back don't hurt. You are allowed to say that. But since it's been messed up since I was 13, I don't care what anybody says. If I go to church and I stand up, fine. If I don't go to church and that's fine too. Because sometimes I have to stay home. And I don't even stay home because I don't want to be home. I stay home because sometimes people in church say the dumbest things to me. When I say my back hurting, they'll make it seem like I'm a dope fiend. I take ibuprofen and Tylenol. Those ain't dope fiend drugs. Y'all better do some research about medicine. Ibuprofen and Tylenol are not class medications. You can buy ibuprofen and Tylenol over the counter. Sometimes the reason why I stay home is because folks say some goofy stuff. And it ain't really funny when I got medical records to support the fact that I've had arthritis in my back since I was 13. I'm 52 now. That's a long time to have arthritis in your back. So people think I walk around, move around by the grace of God. Arthritis is crippling. Go look it up. Osteoarthritis and rheumatoid are crippling diseases. It's not a Catherine said, it's a fact. Hey Ryan, hey one up. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I was talking about this lady that goes to my mama church. She always trying to give people advice and her own life jacked up. I told you I do real life stuff, y'all. Listen, I ain't got nothing against y'all beef. That's not, anybody that's listening from the beef stuff. I ain't got nothing against y'all beef. TMO, I was in your clouds and stuff. And Lady Nika, I ain't got nothing against y'all at all. I told you I do a lot of real life stuff. The reason why I don't too much hang out in y'all. Don't be in your chats and stuff because sometimes people say stuff to me and I don't just want to respond. So sometimes I hang out in your clouds, but Lady Nika, Pizarro, Ness, TMO, Honest Road. I be in y'all clouds. I don't say too much sometimes. Because sometimes when people say mean stuff to me, rather than me just respond, I just keep my mouth shut. See, I've been working on Catherine a lot. I've been working on myself a lot. And I just don't want to argue with folks. That's why when Lovely did that the other day, I dropped off the panel. When Uppity came up there yesterday, she had a takeover spirit. I dropped off the panel. The reason why I did not come back to the panel is because uh I didn't come back to the panel because Uppity sometimes be wanting to argue, and see, I don't be wanting to argue with people. I don't. I just don't. I'm gonna say this. If you had been to the hospital and you had seen some stuff that I had seen, I don't know if it would change you, because I'm not you. But it definitely will give you a different perspective on life. If you had to see tubes running in and out of somebody, it might change some things for you. Because I did. See, I have taken care of sick people during the course of my life. I did. One of my jobs was I took care of a pastor. He had a stroke. So see, during the course of my life, I have taken care of sick people. A lot of times when people say that I'm selfish, there is not a selfish bone in my body at all. People oftentimes take advantage of my kindness, and then when I tell them that, it's always, Catherine, you're being mean. No, I'm just speaking up for myself, because if I don't, nobody else will. I just had to speak up about you, Louise, because you fake as that $2 wig that's over there. How much of that wig cost? $5. My aunt say she paid from two. Whatever. You're fake. You come down here and give great advice down here in North Philly, where you forgot you used to live in North Philly, Louise. And like the Jefferson said, they said we had moved on up. You know how Louise and them used to live over there in North Philly, and then they move out there by the airport. They call it the international city. See, listen, just because you change locations, it don't mean the people in that area are anything beneath you. See, folk like to look down on folk that live down here in North Philly. See, I've been in North Philly all my life, so I know that. I don't too much care. Okay. So, anyway, I was going over what I was saying about Louise. The reason why I was dragging Louise, and she deserved to be dragged, because at the top of this that I said, and I'll say it again, Louise, your granddaughter spent all your money, not some of your money. She spent your bank account down to $0.00. See, and then while you're telling people what they should do, you should go talk to a estate planning lawyer. Well, I guess it's too late for that since Deja done spent all your money now. But maybe if you'd have did that before, see, then you wouldn't have had to start all over again. Right. See, if you're going to talk about me, I don't steal folks' money just because you see me argue with my foreign pastor. He can't say I ever stole anything from him. I'm talking about monetary. No, he can't say that. Your granddaughter's, you got actual proof. You know how you slide your card, you get the money slide. Right, we ain't the same. You could call me opportunistic. He could say that too. It doesn't matter. It just takes a lot of nerve for somebody to come down here and tell somebody what they should do when your own stuff ain't straight. Listen to the words of the song. The words of the song say, I got to clean up what I messed up because I'm starting my life over again. I got to clean up, Louise, what I messed up. See, you can't keep going to church. Bishop Bullwinkle said, hell no. To the no, no, no. See, the folks in the church doing what? Telling other folks what they should do. When your own life ain't altogether straight. Your granddaughter, when your little granddaughter, I ain't gonna call her name. Y'all wasn't training her. It took off for y'all was not. See, it's not cute when children. Let me say this real good for folks. Listen, it's not good when children come to your home and they just rip and run up and down, don't know how to sit down, eating the taffy. You want to put the taffy on the couch? No, listen. That was your situation. When children come through this door, if they can't sit down, I look right over at their parents and tell them they ain't got no home training. See, ain't nothing cute about that. See, because you don't teach them at home, that means when they go to school, they're going to act up. Pay attention. Didn't I say I stopped working with children? I did. Because I can't teach your child in school what you ain't teach them at home. That was simplified. And I ain't worked with children that long either. I did not. If you don't teach them at home, you can't expect the teacher to be no miracle worker. Hats off to the teachers. I lost patience with that. And I used to teach little kids. Little children. Babies on up to 3, 4, and 5. I don't have a problem with children at all. But I do like respectable and manable children. But children must be taught at an early age. They have to be taught life skills. See, Louise, while you coming down here telling us we should do, why you ain't teach Deja how to cook, how to clean, how to do things for herself? Why was you getting in your car driving up to the college, Deja graduated from school now, don't know how to wash her clothes? You failed. You failed. See, I'm going to tell you why you failed. You got somebody that's 16, 17, 18, don't know how to use a washing machine. You failed. Then she came back, cook, and leave the dishes on top of the what? Say it real loud. Leave the dishes up there in the sink or even on the stove. No, no, no. See, you failed. When you use dishes, when you use pots, pans, utensils, you're supposed to wash. You don't leave them for 2 or 3 days. You failed. You can't tell nobody anything. When Deja start acting like she is connected, then you can come talk. Right. Okay. You failed. That's how that go. You can't be an you can't be an expert. Catherine, is Deja over there where you're at? Or did you make sure that right, put her out, put her stuff out right after she tried to throw you out your home that's paid for, rant all over your stuff. Ain't nobody tried, not me. Let me speak for myself. I didn't. So you gonna tell somebody something about me? You're lucky that I'm not on my page dragging you, and I might later. You deserve a drag, for real, for you running your mouth and you don't know what you're talking about. See, my facts are accurate. Harvey really did, what did Harvey do? Make withdrawals and not deposit. See, it didn't matter whether you knew what his issue was. That's not the issue. Why was you too lazy to go where you needed to go? Why you give somebody money and see here make a deposit and he was making withdrawals and taking your money and get right? See, Louise, no. Anybody is susceptible to being bamboozled. That can happen to anybody. But you opened up the door. Just because he worked at the bank don't mean that he shouldn't have known that just because y'all went to the same church. I go to church with people all the time. I don't do stuff like that. You asked him to go make a what? Deposit and he made a withdrawal. Yeah, okay, right. You was the one that was too embarrassed to go get that straightened out. Then you turned around and did the same dumb thing with your granddaughter. You the one that don't use common sense. You always tell me you're the one that don't use common sense. Why is you going to church with somebody and would give them your money talking about go make a deposit? You should have been making your own deposits. You drive. When you went to go one up, it was one up. I was talking about the lady that one of the ladies at the church where I grew up at. I might drag her on my wall later. I might put her on my community wall. I might drag the hell out of her on my community wall. Purposefully. Because you can't keep saying stuff about me and I don't get to respond. Just because you're 80 something years old. You should know better at 80 something. See, pay attention to how it goes. 20s and 30s, 40s, right. 80, you done been around here long enough to know not to do stupid stuff. And I'm going to drag you. I don't care if your granddaughter do see it. She deserve to be dragged. You don't say nothing about me, and then I don't get to say nothing about you. And y'all get to go back to church and talk about me like a dog. I'm going to drag you and her on my page later. And I hope everybody over there at your church see it. You ain't gonna keep running up in the church that I grew up in saying what you want to say about me and what you're saying ain't true. And I can prove it. You're going to get dragged on my page. I'm giving you the heads up. I'm being nice. Look at me being nice. I'm going to drag the hell out you and your granddaughter on my page because you keep saying stuff about me ain't true. I really don't have to respond for real because I know the truth. It's just because you keep running up in church and saying stuff about me that's not true. And I grew up in that church. Whole life. Right. See, I want the right people that go there to read it. The deacons, the deacons and the reverends over there that know me now to read it. Right. So if they got some ill twisted thoughts about me, they can find out the truth. I'ma drag you on my page because you had no business saying what you said. See you all later. Check out my page.